Good evening, Red Hawk fans, and welcome to the Savannah Center here at the campus of IU Northwest in Gary, Indiana. We're here for some live volleyball action tonight between the TIU Trojans and your IU Northwest Red Hawks. What's going on, everybody? My name's Steve Schmidt alongside Adam Maurer.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? It's been a long time since I've been able to catch a volleyball game with you. It's been a long off season.
It definitely has. So both teams come into tonight's contest still early in the year. Communication is still going to be a factor for both teams because there was limited time that these teams were able to practice in the off season or what they had of it. We've seen last game for the Red Hawks as they took on St. Xavier. The communication was a little factor at the net, so that was something that I'm sure that the coaching staff worked on. So now, Adam, let's look ahead at today's opponent, Trinity International. Who are some players that you're keeping your eye on?
Alrighty, so offensively, we want to be on the lookout for Brianna Torres. She leads the team in kills and has 34 of them with 186 attempts, leading her hitting percentage at .102. The assist leader for the team is Anna Skripchak, 144 sets and 201 attempts, making her percentage .216. And as far as service aces go, Brianna Torres also a threat, so not just in the front row but also the back row a threat. We'll have to keep an eye on her. Torres and Skripchak, the two players to watch for the TIU Trojans.
Yeah, when we look ahead at the Red Hawks here today, the team leader in kills this point in the season is Alexis Turner. She is 10 for 40 on the season in kill attempts. Maddie Mottman, their senior captain, is team leader in assists with 14 sets. Maddie's also the team leader in service aces with 4. Turner leads the team in passes, and Mottman also leads the team in digs. So Mottman is the driving force for this team.
If you noticed, I only talked about offensive people to worry about. You know, can you tell offense and defense which one is kind of my preference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, nothing's more fun seeing a volley going on and just how powerful some of these ladies can be at the net, regardless of their height, regardless of their year. They can all be threats at the net, just whoever they may be, and it's fun to see them all put up their fair fight.
Most definitely, and this Red Hawks team has a lot of power on the outsides, and that's something that's going to play to their advantage, hopefully in tonight's game. So when we look ahead in the CCAC standings to this point, Trinity International is currently third in the conference. It's still early. We want to point out it's still very early in the season, but still, you want to start out on a good foot, and Trinity International definitely has 2-0 here early in conference season. Where the Red Hawks sit 1-1 on the season in the conference standings, but if the season ended today, which it won't, they're sitting 5th right now in the standings. Mm-hmm. So you would definitely want to be within that top 8 as long as you can, because obviously top 8 make that conference tournament. And we're getting ready for the start here. We're about a little over 2 minutes away from the start of the pregame festivities, which include the national anthem and the starting lineup presentation. So while we're getting ready for this game to start, we're going to take a break here on the Red Hawk Sports Network. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back here to the Red Hawk Sports Network as we're just winding down here moments away from tonight's opening serve. Adam, opening predictions.
Alrighty, I have a feling that Trinity International is going to be coming right out of the gates with their offensive pressure. Watching them warm up, they've all got a lethal serve to them, at least what feels like it. You know, we're only here in the bird's nest of the court, you know, and they all look like pretty lethal serves, and they have their share of individuals that could be all outside hitters, you know, like being an offensive force on the edge. So I have a feeling that they're going to come out with heat and put a lot of pressure on Indiana University's defense.
Alrighty, here are the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Trojans, there is Jasmine Coronado. Jalen Freeman is going to be their libero. Anna Skripchak, Maddie Hawkins, Madeline Decker, Brianna Torres, and Grace Mauersberger. And for the Red Hawks, it's going to be Alexis Turner, Maddie Mottman, Chloe Roberts is the libero, Bria Strezzo, Mary Markusik, and Kelsey Farrell. I'm expecting a good game here tonight, Adam, because last time these two met up was here on senior night, and the Red Hawks swept that game 3-0.
Huh. You know, I got a quick little stat here, too. Well, it says that they've played 9 times, but the record between the two is 8-2, so I believe that this is the 11th time that they are playing, and so far Trinity International leads the matchup, scoring 8-2 over the Red Hawks.
So here we go, getting ready for the opening serve. Anna Skripchak to serve, and we're underway here in the Savannah Center. Turner pokes it over. Mottman sets it up. Strezzo returns it over. There's Freeman with the dig. And Torres with the kill attempt, and that's going to land in off the hands of Javert. And Trinity International opens up the scoring here tonight.
It looks like both teams off the bat had a little bit of communication errors. But then right as I was saying about having a strong attacking force, Brianna Torres is there with the kill.
Strezzo with the kill attempt there, blocked at the net. Skripchak sets it up. Freeman with the save there. Torres over, saved by Roberts. Mottman setting it up as Strezzo tries to put it over. Nice diving stop there by Coronado. And Torres again, but a good play there by Strezzo to keep it in play, same as Javert. Mauersberger with the two-hand punch over the net, saved from going out of play.
Almost found a hole there.
And Strezzo into the net.
Man, if every volley is going to last this long, we could be here for a long time. I mean, I sure ain't complaining. I didn't have to pay admission.
I got nowhere to be tonight. Skripchak with her third serve here in the opening set. And that's going to be an error on the Red Hawks there at the net. That's another thing, too. Here, early in the season, you're going to see a lot more of errors at the net.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, this is still early in the season. I know it's supposed to have been a fall sport, but now here we are in spring. But, yeah, it's still pretty early on.
Roberts can't handle that serve, so that's going to be an ace for Skripchak. 4-0 here, Trojans early. Skripchak serve hits the net. Torres goes up for the kill attempt off Javert. Roberts sets it up for Javert, and Javert is in play, and that's going to be the first point of the game for the Red Hawks. Perfect placement there in the back corner by Carly Javert.
It looks like right before she ended up scoring that point, she had a solo block on Brianna Torres there. She was one of 2 people to go up, but the only lady to make contact with the ball. So I believe that goes down as a solo block and a point for her.
Dug out by Freeman on the serve.
I'm seeing a common pattern here, Steve. I'm seeing a common pattern. Every time the ball is set, it's going straight to Torres on the outside.
I agree. And speaking of Torres, she's back to serve.
She'll have to be restricted to behind the spiking line if she wants to do stuff like that now that she's in the back row.
Javert's kill attempt blocked at the net there by Coronado and Decker. And TIU opens up their lead to 5 here in the opening set.
Man, I was worried about their offense, and now they've got... We had last season Twin Towers, now they seem to be having their Twin Towers of their own.
Estrezzo takes that block on the serve. And miscommunication there by Skripchak and Freeman. lead to a point for the Red Hawks. That's what you want to do. That's something that last game Juan Lopez brought up, was that you wanted to make the other team make mistakes. Because that's going to lead to free points for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how much control you really have over that. Like, you can return their spikes and spike it right back, but as far as the hits in between, you don't really have a whole lot of control over it.
You're right. I totally agree. As Farrell goes up and pokes it over, perfect placement. Kelsey Farrell with the point.
What a nice tip there from Farrell. Phenomenal placement right around the outside hitter and finding the boundary line.
I'll tell you what, last game against St. Xavier, Farrell had 4 of the most energizing plays for the Red Hawk all game. Those block and then kill play after play. As Roberts serve into the net. 7-3 is our score.
Looks like we got a substitution here. Maddie Hawkins comes in.
Rotates in for Freeman there. As Mauersberger serving.
She's got a pretty nice last name, wouldn't you say?
Perfectly said, Adam Mauer.
Yeah.
Mottman setting it up. There's Javert, pokes over the net. Torres with the return.
Decker finding it right up around Turner there. Turner couldn't get the solo block. She's the only one up trying to defend against Decker's spike there, but couldn't quite come down with it.
That was a good set there, too. Behind the back set. Turner goes up for the kill and puts it right on the line, and it's in. Good placement there by Turner.
Finding the corners, finding the sideline. I see the Red Hawks having capability of making this a close game. Even though Trinity started off the game with a 5-point lead, I still have a feeling that the Red Hawks can catch fire here. And this is only the first set.
I agree. Because once you get rolling in this game, it's hard to stop.
Absolutely, yeah. This is definitely a momentum game. Like any sport, really.
Right. Genevieve Gra into serve as she gets that one over the net. Turner with the kill attempt, that's going to be stuffed by Freeman. Turner again puts it over, and Freeman with the return. And into the net with the kill attempt there is Hawkins.
Just a little miscommunication there between Hawkins and the setter. The setter was going for a quick set, meaning that the spiker can already be in the air and immediately hit it as soon as it's over the net, but just a slight miscommunication there.
Good low serve, and that's going to be an ace, as Coronado could not handle that serve. Red Hawks trim it to a 2-point game.
Momentum game. It's a momentum game.
It is.
Oh, nice placement there. Nice placement there by Decker.
Decker's killed right in front of the Red Hawk defense. Going to get them the ball back, and Decker's going to be rewarded for that kill with the serve. High looping serve. They're different from everybody else's serve that we've seen thus far, because all the other serves have been low line drives. This one was just a looper.
A looper. It's like whenever you're setting up your outside hitter for a spike and they just tip it over the blockers. This is that version of a hit from the server's perspective, I guess. Holy moly!
Farrell's kill off of Freeman and out of play, and that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not on the receiving end of that one right there.
Have you ever been hit by one of those things?
Yes.
They hurt.
In the forehead, actually.
Oh.
They've got some pretty good accuracy.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they're trying to hit you. Torres tries to send it over and blocked by Farrell at the net, and Trinity somehow keeps the ball alive. Farrell goes up, Torres with the return. Coronado is going to be off of Roberts, almost up into our broadcast booth up here. I thought I was going to have to take my headset off and play retriever.
What a fantastic angle there. Holy moly. Who had that spike there, do you remember?
I don't remember because I was too busy watching the ball.
I have a feeling that was Gallegos, who is serving right now. That angle from the left all the way across the court, around the blockers and all. Holy moly.
Wow, what a play there by Trinity. They made sure they got all 3 of their hits right there.
Yeah, they must be having reflex time practice or something.
And Torres' kill is stuffed to the net by Farrell and Tier, and that's a point for the Redhawks. Kind of confused as to why Torres didn't try to go for that, unless she thought it was out.
On her way down, I have a feeling that she ended up getting stuffed, and as she was coming down, the ball ended up hitting her hand or something like that. Because if it goes off the Redhawks and out of bounds, it would be Trinity point.
Right.
But I'm assuming she must have made contact with it on her way down.
Emma Robertson for that serve.
Man, the tips from both teams finding that like having a tip is a better form of attack than a spike isn't very common, I would say. But both teams are making good use of seeing the blockers and having the vision of where the hole is and just placing it. Instead of just going for raw power, it's more of a finesse game for both teams, it looks like.
Right. Jalen Freeman back to serve. She's from Athens, Alaska.
Holy moly.
So she's no stranger to the cold and the snow.
Yeah. Heck, this is her summer.
Right. As that serve is out of play. Point for the Redhawks. Maddie Mottman rotates back in, and she's going to take the serve here. Mottman is the senior captain, senior leader of this team from Beecher, Illinois. And Markusik at the net with the kill.
I don't believe that'll go as a kill, my friend.
I'm counting it as one.
You got to be up in the air on the third hit trying to spike that for it to be a kill, and it's got to be irreturnable. But I guess we could, yeah. I mean, heck, that reminds me, I was trying to go over some of the abbreviations and how to read a box score and whatever like that because I've never played volleyball, never looked into it at all. And it is confusing as heck, I tell you.
And Torres, perfect placement there right in front of a diving Mottman. Makes this 13-10 TIU lead.
You know, one of the biggest things that I learned, like reading up on things, is hitting percentage. You know, that made me think of like a batter's batting average, you know. You want to be around 300 to 400, 280 maybe is fine. Hitting percentage for volleyball can be negative, so it's not even close to the same type of calculation.
As Torres' return is going to be long.
Man, oh man.
2-point advantage here. Redhawks should want to at least tie the score up here with this serve. Or with these servings, I should say.
I mean, of course you would want to tie it up, but why stop there?
Right. I didn't state myself clear enough.
Redhawks sure want to take the lead by the end of the set. What a valuable insight there, Steve.
No, last game when Juan Lopez and I were on air, we talked about if you're serving and you're down on the scoreboard, think of it, let's get to X number of points before we have to give the ball up, because giving the ball up is inevitable. You're going to give the ball up to your opponent. Have X number of points before you give it up, but make it a short little goal in set.
Sure.
That's what I meant there. As that kill attempt just sweeps behind Markusich and Turner.
Just splitting the gap there. Man, I'm so like unfamiliar with volleyball. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm going to be making like as many comparisons to other sports as I can think of.
And Torres with the ace.
So if you're, excuse me, I'm going to be mocking you a little bit here, Steve.
Okay. We got a timeout on the floor here.
If you're Trinity International, you probably want to win the set before you get the ball up.
While both these teams take a timeout, we're also going to take a timeout. You're listening to the Red Hawk Sports Network.
projection was totally off. I'll tell you that much. I was expecting a lot more offense out of Trinity, and they do have it. Don't get me wrong, but they're showing that they are a formidable opponent on the defensive end of things, having their own form of twin towers at the net, not being able to get anything through.
I agree. Turner's return going to be long. And I believe this is Trinity's largest lead of the first set, as it's now 7-point advantage at 18-11.
You are correct. They only led by, I believe, 5. Or maybe 6.
I think it was 6 early on. I think it was 8-2. And then the Red Hawks went on a little rally. Motman sets it up as Mark Husik going to have the kill.
Ooh. My goodness. She hit the ball at the peak of the set. The ideal set right there. Fantastic assist there by Mottman.
Chloe Roberts enters back into the game, and she'll take this serve. So you hear the CIU bench saying side out, trying to mess up the serve here. And what are the refs going to call here? Because I think the whistle is happening beforehand. What's the call going to be here? Looks like they're going to call it a point for Trinity International. Yeah, because before the ball landed, not the chair ref, I think that's what he's called, the chair ref, but the guy on the floor next to the scorer's table was blowing his whistle beforehand.
Okay. The line ref? Line judge.
Thanks to David Bork, for our producer, for that clarification. That's a nice dig there by Strezzo. And that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks.
Oh, man. I would think, like, rug burn would hurt, and thinking of, like, diving on, like, wood court like that, how quick your arms and your legs would just get raw. Holy moly.
Gra back in to serve here. Torres with the dig. Punched it over the net. Gra sets it up for Farrell. Torres with the return, sets it up there. And it's in, perfectly placed there by Hawkins.
Goodness gracious. They had the biggest lead, and now they're keeping it. They're keeping their lead. Not good to see. Man, I am starting to sound like you. Not good to see that you're losing. Wow. What valuable insight there.
Coronado goes up. That's going to be deflected at the net.
It's going to go as an illegal hit there. Instead of just setting the ball up, it looked like she caught it and then pushed it back up. Yeah, in a way.
Decker to serve.
Line up in an I formation there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting good at this.
Nice dig there by Gra. And into the net with a kill. Attempt is Hawkins. And the Red Hawks are going to regain possession here with Turner to serve. 21-14 to score here in the opening set.
This first set sets the mood of the game.
It definitely does.
Whoever has their pedal on the metal the hardest is the driving force of the game, normally.
And that return is going to be long from Hawkins. I totally agree. This is the most important set, in my opinion.
It's like having the first quarter, like in any other sport. Whoever shows the most energy and the most pressure and the best communication skills normally has that for the entirety of the game.
Right. And Coronado's going to get credited with that kill there at the net.
I'm almost certain it was IU's point there. No, it was not. It was not IU's point, but it wasn't a kill. It was a blocking error on IU's end.
Tier goes for the kill attempt there, and it's going to be dug out. And Farrell with the trickery there with the point.
Holy. The awareness, the game sense of Farrell that Trinity's going to be recovering. They're not ready for a quick tip here. There's no way. And her instincts proved correct as she scores the point for her team.
Emma Roberts back in to serve here.
The set there just barely went over the net, leading to an immediate Trinity Trinity momentum. Immediate momentum for Trinity.
Muramoto and Mauersberger back in for the Trojans. As Freeman's back to serve.
Good reaction time there by Graw. Cross to Torres.
Graw sets it up there. And blocked at the net is Strezzo.
Right when I was about to say that Trinity's offensive momentum starting to slip up a little bit here, then they get a block and their defense just shows up. Like, man.
And TIU is 1 point away from taking this first set. Muramoto sets it up there.
Awkward jump there from Merkasic. Almost had it. Oh,
nice stop there by Graw, but that's not going. There's going to be no Red Hawk there to keep the ball alive. And this first set is in the books, and the Trojans take it 25-16.
Just want to talk about that last spike one more time.
Okay.
Graw's reaction time, fantastic. I haven't seen a whole lot of volleyball matches, so I don't know what mile per hour, kilometer per hour means a spike is really fast.
Right.
But that sure looked like a heck of a lot faster than a pitcher throwing from a mound, I would say.
I agree. Alrighty, so while these teams prepare for the second set, we're going to take a break here. You're listening to the Red Hawk Sports Network. against
Oh, I see.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Like, it's bad. I'm not one that bad. It's bad.
I'm going to wait for the music.
Yeah, I was saying, wait for them to get the ball before we go back on.
Who's got the ball? Who's got the ball?
I think we will, because I think they had the opening serve. All right, go ahead. Well, welcome back, Red Hawk fans, as we're getting ready for the start of this second set. I guess I have to say welcome, Trojans fans, too.
Yeah.
Because we are streaming live here on the JED TV app and the IU Northwest Red Hawks athletics page. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into tonight's contest.
I'm not a volleyball connoisseur, but I think a kill in the books is a wow.
Good placement there by Mauersberger.
Split the defenders like splitting a fairway, like right in between them, which you have to alternate. Like if you're a good outside hitter, you have to alternate where you're attacking so you don't get predictable. Between the defenders, left of them, right of them, tip it over. You have to keep it, like, keep changing it. And for there, like, perfect. Great decision.
Skripchak to serve. Torres goes up, and I think that's going to be an error off the pin. And it is at a point for the Red Hawks. Those little errors can prove to be so big, especially early in sets.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because they determine who has the momentum early on, and that can influence who continues to have that momentum later on.
Exactly. Mauersberger goes up, and that's going to be off Roberts. Evens the second set back up.
I'm not sure how outside hitters can do that. I mean, if you're on the outside, sure, you have a lot to work with. Like if you're right-handed and you're on the right side, sure, you've got a lot of court to work with. But out of the boundary line's right there. Like that's got to seem a little bit daunting.
I agree. Skripchak sets it up. That's Coronado with the kill.
Fantastic set there, right into the pocket. Right into the pocket. At the peak of her jump, at the peak of the ball's height, that's where it comes down the hardest.
Torres to serve. Good diving dig there by Roberts.
This could be bad.
Off Mottman. Turner guides it over. And Coronado with the kill.
Oh, boy. Man, I'm starting to see the pattern of, like, wherever the dig goes, if the setter's nearby, it's going to be a pretty darn good spike to return. So whenever Red Hawks have a bit of a miscommunication and they don't get it over the net with a whole lot of power, it's going to be a huge retaliation.
And Turner's attempt is going to be blocked at the net there by Decker, and Mauersberger makes this a 3-point Trojan lead. Torres still serving. And Farrell gets it over the net.
Without crossing the net line, too.
And Turner with the diving play.
And Farrell keeps it alive.
But that's going to be a point for Trinity. I think somebody hit the net there or went over the net line.
That might have been what happened, yeah.
Couldn't tell who it was because of our angle up here. Isn't the best for seeing this Red Hawk side of things, but I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
But I saw the ref put up 2 fingers, so I wonder if it was a double hit by one.
Could have happened.
Strezzo gets it over.
This could be good here for the Red Hawks.
Gra goes up, stuffed at the net.
Oh!
They can't return that one over.
That was a close one. I believe Gra thought that was out of bounds. You know, they blocked and then tipped it right over her, and it looked like she was going for it, and she can go for that. But in her mind, I think she might have thought it was out. And it was close, to be fair.
Coronado goes up and is blocked to the net. And Farrell pokes it over.
Man.
And that ends the Trojan rally there.
You ever do box jumps?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I think Farrell just proved to us how much box jumps can pay off, because she went up for the block, came down as the ball came down, and then the ball just came right back over, and she, I'm back up.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise. I can jump twice in a row. Almost a miscommunication there. Oh, and that goes off Mottman.
I think that was Turner. Yeah, that was Turner.
It was Turner. Yes, correct. Went up for a solo block attempt there. She was the only person to jump up and contest Mauersberger's spike. But alas, if you have a ball coming at you that fast and your arms are already up, you can't really control where that thing's going.
You got to hope it's going right to you.
Exactly.
Scripshock sets it up and blocked by Farrell at the net. Decker denied there by Kelsey Farrell.
Man, let's keep Farrell in the game. I'm liking this. She gets momentum for the Redhawks a whole lot. On the offensive side of things with the strong arm and also being able to just jump up and block anything.
And guess who it is? It's Farrell there again. Deflected by Strezzo. Redhawks keeping possession here.
Javert.
Good diving play there by the libero Freeman for the Trojans. Strezzo pokes it over, and that's going to be one hit too many on the side of the Redhawks. So even though these little things aren't going your way here early in this set, you still have to be encouraged by the effort and energy that they're coming out with, opposed to the first set.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just because you're down by 5 and you're down by a set doesn't mean you just, I guess the game's over.
Right.
Come on.
That's why it's a best 3 out of 5.
Yes.
And Strezzo's return going to be out of play. 11-5, TIU has the lead here in the second set. Madeline Decker to serve.
She's been proven to be a valuable teammate as well, showing up several digs, several blocks, as well as being an attacking force.
And Farrell's return over the net's going to be in play there off Freeman. Emma Roberts back into the game to take the serve here. Good low serve there.
Well placed. Oh, that could have been good.
Almost. McGraw with the dig. Javert stuffed at the net. Strezzo stuffed at the net.
This keeps giving us opportunities. As long as it doesn't come straight down. Oh. Nice tip there I believe by Hawkins.
Yeah, that's Hawkins there.
Man, it's like throwing the ball away on offense and then you get it right back. And then you throw it away and then you get it right back.
Mm-hmm.
Like offensive rebounds. And then you just can't score. Imagine how frustrating that would be.
Oh, yeah. Right there with you. And that's going to result in an ace for, who was that? Was that?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. We don't have the best view of the Red Hawk side.
Oh, there it is.
Here.
Emma Gallegos. I think it's the first time she's been in tonight's game.
No. She was in a lot during the first quarter.
Was she? Okay.
First set. First set. I mean, heck, if there are 4 sets, then it would be the first quarter.
And the communication for the Redhawks here.
And now, as we've seen in 2 consecutive volleys, there have been returning errors on the Redhawk side of things, which we hadn't seen a whole lot of. It was just the hits in between. It was on the second or third hit where we were communicating incorrectly, but now it's on the first hit, so get back to base.
And Javert, good play there by Freeman. Strezzo punches it over.
This is going to be good. Yep.
Point for TIU.
Blind judge is saying it was in. A close call for sure. Barely clipping the line there.
And this is TIU's largest lead in either set, 15-6.
Oh, imagine that, not knowing how to return that. Do you set it? Do you dig it? You know?
That's going to be a point for TIU. And the most difficult part about this serve by Gallegos, the ball does not rotate at all.
It's like hitting a knuckleball.
Exactly.
You don't know where it's going. You'd expect down, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't go down. It just sits there.
Torres' return is going to be long. That's just it's amazing. It really is how these girls are able to hit the ball over and over and over the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, and not to mention that the finesse they do it with, like some of them, the serves are knuckleballs, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the spikes you'll see, especially from behind the spiking line, the ball has backspin to it.
Yeah.
So it goes over the net and tucks itself in play still.
Imagine how much work they have to put in for that.
And how sore their palms are.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic set there across the court.
That's going to be a hard return there.
Decker tried to find the hole in the defense there.
And that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks as Mottman guides that one over. It's now 16-8. Mottman serving. And stuffed in the net by Grod Markusik. Point for the Red Hawks. Those are those momentum plays that we've been talking about all night long.
Oh, yeah. And if you keep track of how many successful blocks there are throughout the sets, they get pretty high. Like, it's not something that just happens once or twice per set. They happen pretty frequently.
Right. And Torres almost stuffed there at the net, but the Red Hawks keep the ball alive.
Nice coordination there between Markasic and...
Diving play there by two Red Hawks, but that's going to end up falling on their side, and TIU is going to gain the point. Freeman to serve. And Markusik puts it in perfectly.
Looked like the jump was a little bit awkward. You jump up and you have to bend backwards because the ball's over your head, but hey, it scored. Point. Cool. That must be fun. Not expecting to get a whole lot of power behind it and still score a point. That must be cool. Just a little long there.
Script shot going to return back in for TIU for Muramoto. Script shot to serve.
That's tough. That's tough. If it's right in between two of your teammates, it's kind of tough to think, like, do you just say, screw it, I'm going for it? Or do you think, like, oh, no, my teammate's got it? And then they both were thinking, oh, my teammate's got it.
Exactly.
That's tough.
You see the coaching staff for the Red Hawks getting kind of frustrated with that.
Oh, I'm sure.
After that play. Scripshock sets it up. There's Torres, and that combination has worked wonders for the Trojans here tonight as it works again. I don't know the exact number, but it's been a lot.
Yes.
Just take our word for it.
Yes.
It has been. 20-10's the score here. TIU 5 points away from taking this second set. And Turner's return going to be out of play. And Erminger calls the timeout.
That's a good call. I mean, we've seen Torres in like the first 6-7 points in the first set, just how powerful Scripshock and her were as an offensive combo, and here they are again.
All right, so while these teams get ready here for the final rally in this second set, we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Red Hawks. it over. Point for TIU.
Guess who gets the assist for that?
Who would that be, Adam?
Script shock. Go figure. Goodness gracious.
Mottman sets it up. And good dig there by Script Shock off the Markusic kill attempt. And blocked at the net by Mary, and that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks. Farrell's going to rotate back in along with Chloe Roberts. Roberts to serve.
Quick fun facts.
I love fun facts.
I was not expecting you to say that. Did you know a libero can enter the game without permission from the referees to sub?
Okay.
They're the only player that can do that. Heck, there are some leagues that don't allow liberos to serve. We're clearly not one of them.
Right.
But there are some leagues that don't allow the libero to serve. They are strictly a defensive specialist.
Huh. Well, Red Hawks just had that point. And Farrell's going to tip it over the net and a point for the Red Hawks. 22-13. Script Shock sets it up for Mauersberger, but that's going to be blocked at the net. And Farrell with the kill attempt off Freeman. Point for your Red Hawks. Red Hawks coming to life here late in this second set.
It ain't over yet.
Man, I tell you what, I hope that's not broadcaster's jinx there.
You know, I mean, it's not. It won't be because, I mean, it isn't over. So
you're right.
I mean, we still got, Trinity's got 3 more points to score.
Turner guides it over. Script Shock sets it up. There's Mauersberger with the tip over the net, and that is going to be a point for TIU. Just the spacing looked off there. As Turner had to go out of play for the volley before that, before the return for TIU.
Yeah.
Red Hawk spacing got kind of off there. As Torres to serve. Dug out by Turner. Turner goes up, and that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks off Script Shock. 23-15, Javert back in as Mottman rotates out.
Try to keep in mind, like how often Trinity's using tips as a form of offense. You know, during the 2 rallies ago, I saw that they had a few tips in a row to a point where the Red Hawks were uncoordinated.
Good diving play there by Strezzo and Chloe Roberts to keep that ball alive. Gross sets it up. There's Turner. Torres with the return. Tipped over the net, but right there is Roberts. Gross setting it up. There's Javer with the punch over the net, but it's going to be blocked by Coronado. And TIU is 1 point away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead. Mauersberger to serve. And Javert's going to be blocked at the net, but that's going to go out of play. And you know how I talked about earlier making those small goals in set? Red Hawks' goal here should be to get to 26.
Okay. 26?
To get to 26.
So 26?
Because you got to win by 2 in the sets.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. I was going to say, like, how in the world?
And that's in. Perfect placement there by Strezzo.
So they're going to get to 26 right now.
Have to.
That's the immediate goal?
You have to.
Really?
Yeah. Because if TIU gets another point, they win the set.
So I guess you can look at it that way. So I'm making like you can't really see what face I'm making. Obviously, you can only hear my voice. But I'm like pondering,
Blocked at the net by Farrell and Javert.
I mean, to win the set, you have to get to 26, yes.
Yeah.
But how about, we were talking during the break, how about you just get to 15 so it doesn't feel like you're totally defeated in the next set?
Right.
How about you reach first 20 before you start thinking about 26?
And Turner's serve is going to go out of play. And TIU takes this set 25-18.
Man, the Red Hawks are about 7 points off of their 26th goal there.
Hey, you got to put the thought in everybody's head. You never know.
True, but they did reach that 15-point goal you were talking about earlier. So at least they're not going into this set totally defeated.
Right. So we're going to take a break here on the Red Hawk Sports Network, getting ready for the start of this third set. We'll be right back. Hawk Sports Network getting ready for the start of this third set. Adam, if you're TIU's head coach Luke Ward, what are you doing right now? Are you just saying, let's finish this thing off and go home early? Or are you saying, let's try a few different things we haven't done yet?
Well, there are two types of coaches, and you just described both of them. So there are those that want to focus on execution because it's still early season. That's me. That's what I would do.
Exactly.
I don't I think that would be the best plan of attack. I mean, there are those that are just like, since it is early season, we want to have momentum going into our next game. So if we end this quickly, we have something to look back on and think, heck, we ended that set super early. Like, we won that 3-0. We didn't have to practice anything. We just vibed as a team and had good chemistry. So, it depends on who they play next game. I don't have their schedule off the top of my head, but
what I would do is I would just start out with a few plays I haven't ran yet, and then see how it's going, and then go back to the normal plan of attack toward the middle to the end of the set, just to get some in-game reps with different plays, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure how well plays go for volleyball, because you can't really predict exactly where the ball is going to come from your opponent. And honestly, if you're the defensive specialist, you just want to keep that ball in play. If it's a spike coming at you as fast as it is, you don't want to think, oh, I have to get it into this minute spot. You want to think, okay, I just want to keep this in play. So it's kind of tough to run plays like that, I would say.
The Redhawks gain the opening point here of this third set. Tipped over the net, and Roberts with a diving play there as Gra punches it over. Scripshock's going to force it over there to Motman. Gra goes up, and that's going to go into the net. And TIU gets their first points of this third set.
She absolutely was aiming at the right spot there. Two defenders came from her left, straight in front of her.
Just mistimed the jump.
Well, I mean, if she had gotten it over the net and on that left side, the left side I felt like was pretty open.
Oh, it was wide open, yeah.
So if she had hit her target right there, that would have been perfect placement.
Torres to serve. And that's going to go off Roberts and out of play. That's going to be an ace.
I believe it's a returning error. Yeah.
I think so.
I don't think that they go down in the books as the same thing. Like ace, but returning error here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think it's just returning error.
We're learning on the fly here, folks. I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah.
As Markusik with the poke over the net, and that's going to go out of play. Point for the Red Hawks. So, yeah, what I'm saying here is bear with us.
Yeah, for all I know, I'm probably wrong, too. I'm not sure. Like, that's what I feel like is right 85% of the time. Probably more, or probably less, excuse me. I'm definitely more wrong in volleyball than I am correct, so.
Mottman sets it up. Turner goes up. Freeman digs it out. Coronado pokes it over.
Tough angle there to not come into contact with the net.
Skripchak sets it up. Decker pokes it over. And Farrell with the behind-the-back poke over the net. Almost fell.
Skripchak to Decker. How did they keep that alive?
It's going to be one too many hits on that side of TIU, though, but that was impressive.
That was, yes.
That was an impressive volley there on TIU side. Roberts going to continue to serve. Red Hawks up 3-2 here early in this third set. And perfectly placed there between Grau and Mottman.
Well, we've seen the Red Hawks have an early lead in the second set, and they had a very small lead in this third set as well. Let's see if they can change that into keeping that lead throughout the remainder of the set and not losing it like they did in the second set.
Mauersberger to serve. And Farrell pokes it over. Diving play by Skripchak and sets up Hawkins there to put it in the right spot, and that's going to be a point for TIU as they take the lead here in this third set. And Farrell mistimed her jump.
It looked like she was expecting a different type of set there. That's the game you play. That's what makes it so hard to communicate, is that a setter can set it as soon as she touches it, within milliseconds, the spiker's already on it.
Right.
Or you can do the hit the ball as it's coming down option. You know, it's tough to communicate that.
And Coronado puts that one in the back corner. Point for TIU.
So you know that's a kill. I know that's true because there was no returning error. There was no blocking assist. There was nobody up there even contest, really. So I think I'm more than 85% sure on this one. Come on. I got to be able to do something right.
Mauersberger's serve is going to go out of play, and the Red Hawks gain that point. Javert rotates in, Mottman rotates out. Grau to serve.
The short, immediate goal for the Red Hawks here. Tie the game.
Exactly.
Before you have to give up service.
And Turner's return is going to be out of play.
Yeah, that's broadcaster jinx right there. That's what that's called, folks.
Muramoto going to rotate in for Skripchak. So let's see what TIU is going to do here now with Skripchak out in terms of their sets.
It seems like they're not necessarily on cruise control.
Right.
But it's not as, powerful as a form of offense. But when Skripchak's in the game, it is constantly, you constantly have offensive momentum for the Trojans.
TIU going to get the point there, make it 8-4 in this third set.
Muramoto is definitely fills the role very well, I would say.
Yeah.
Does her job as her team needs her to do it. So I have a feeling that her and Skripchak have good chemistry being able to hold the team on their back in the assists category together.
Javert stuffed it in that. And Turner's return is going to go out of play. (9-4) is our score here in this third set.
Still within striking distance. Lots of volleyball to still play.
Coronado is going to be getting the point there as Javert couldn't direct that block in the field of play, or in the court of play, rather. That's going to be a point for TIU. Decker continues to serve.
Another detail I've noticed for Trinity, their bench is constantly involved.
Oh, yeah.
With the game. Even if none of them are coming in, constantly energetic, enthusiastic. They're a part of every play.
Exactly. That's a big thing. In a lot of sports, you want to have your bench involved.
Oh, yeah. That's why the Spurs were so good for a while. A long time ago, though. They just had the deepest bench in the entire league.
And Farrell's going to get that kill. That's a kill.
Yes.
That
yes,
is a kill.
Yes, it is. Again, more than 85% sure on that one.
As both Adam and I look at each other with excitement that we got the call right. Turner to serve. And that's going to go out of play off of Gra.
I'm not sure if the Flash would have been able to catch up with that one. Decent that she at least got it up, but that's a tough one to get to. Like, you're all confined in those lines there. It's like, do I want to dive over my teammates to get that? Do I want to have a broken leg after this? Probably not.
Gallegos rotates back in to take this serve, and that's going to go into the net.
The funniest return I've ever seen, like penguins slide down hills and stuff on their bellies.
Yeah.
I saw, I don't remember what team it was, but a young lady dove for the ball and slid on the ground as she was diving for it, younger lady, and as she's holding her arms out ready to set it up, it ends up just bouncing right off her arms as she's penguin sliding.
Oh, wow.
It was the funniest thing.
Roberts, good serve there, but Torres is going to have a return by Turner.
There's a lot of turning there.
Yeah, I know. I was just realizing that. I was hoping you didn't catch that. And that's going to be Hawkins getting the point there. Freeman to serve. Javert goes up, and that's going to be deflected and kept alive there by TIU. That's going to be off Freeman, and that's going to be a point for the Redhawks.
Penguin slide. Come on. Penguin slide. They're digs, kills, assists, blocks, pancakes. Why not turn into a penguin? Penguin's just the style of return.
Mopman to serve for the Redhawks. And Decker puts it perfectly in front of a diving Mopman.
It's not every time you see a spike from behind the spiking line go over both defenders, but still short enough so the defensive specialist can't get it. Nicely placed there by Decker.
Skripchak to serve, 14-7. TIU has the lead in this third set.
Fantastic set there by Mottman, I gotta say. That was right at Markasik's arm. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Right at the peak of her jump. Goodness gracious.
Strezzo's return is going to be returned by TIU. What are they going to call here? Point for TIU.
It looked like it was blocked at the net.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not now trying to talk about it. My memory's failing me, so I don't remember exactly what happened. Good decision there by Markasik.
And Decker's return going to be off Roberts. And TIU quickly has a, how many points would that be?
10-point lead.
Yeah, 10-point lead, but that'd be 8 points away from victory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number I was trying to think of there.
Yeah. It looked like on that rally in particular, Redhawks were all just grouped in the same spot. It looked like all 6 ladies were in the same circle, leaving the corners wide open for attack.
So that's something that we talked about, too, earlier in this game. The communication early in the season is off. I'm sure a lot of teams around the conference are like that. I'm pretty sure that this is a more veteran team, though, TIU, because remembering from last year, the Redhawks are going to get that point there. I remember a lot of these names from last year, so these girls have played, in games together, so they have that familiarity. This is a totally different Redhawk roster for the most part from last year.
Okay.
So there's still those growing pains and getting, readjusted to everything going on. And that return's going to go into the net by Decker. Makes it 17-10. Strezzo with the serve.
I remember casting a few games, too. Scripshock's name looked familiar, and I looked at what year she was. She's only a sophomore. And I was thinking, there's no way her name looks familiar. There's no way, because she's only a sophomore. How? It's just because she showed up on the team and showed her prowess as a freshman and made it on the starting roster just from year one.
And that's going to be a point for TIU as Turner's return went over the pin. But yeah, I know what you're saying, because I was thinking the same thing. So some of their role players are not seniors. There's only 2 seniors on their roster.
Yeah.
And Decker's one of them. The other one hasn't even played in this game yet.
Yeah.
So this team is going to be good for years to come. 18-11, TIU with the lead. Roberts rotates back in. Chloe Roberts, that is, take the serve. And what are they going to call the point here?
Did it hit the pin?
Yes, it did. Point for the Redhawks. Good call there by the official. Both officials working together there to make that call. And Freeman's return can't be returned. That's going to be a point for the Redhawks.
Her return can't be returned?
Yeah, I didn't like it as I was saying it, but I had to go with it.
Just say it confidently.
Yep.
Just say it.
Return can't be handled. There we go.
Boom. Because then we've got someone on our team, Alexis Turner. Like it's a lot of turning, man. It's a lot of turning.
And speaking of Turner, her return is going to be deflected there by Torres as Coronado is going to poke it over the net. Gra goes up and puts it in perfectly in the back corner. You can feel the Redhawks getting some energy on their sideline.
Late in the 3rd set. Do you think it's a little too late?
We'll find out as it's 18-14 here with Roberts still serving. And Mottman cannot set it up for one of her teammates, and that's going to go out of play, 19-14.
Good play there by Coronado, seeing that the defenders were already there in her way and just tipping them right over.
I think if you're the Redhawks here, if TIU gets to 20 on this point, or on this play, then you got to call a timeout, but that's not going to happen on this play as the Redhawks are going to get that point. But do you like that strategy? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because Orminger still has 2 timeouts in this set.
Yeah, like if your opponents are going on a roll, it's like icing the kicker. Just stop before it gets too out of hand. Yeah, I can see that absolutely.
Scripshock sets it up, and that's Hawkins with the kill.
What a spike there by Hawkins. She had a little bit of difficulty in the first 2 sets, but in this 3rd set, she's showing that it doesn't matter how the first 2 sets going. She's coming out with fire and showing that she still has the ability to kill with her teammates.
Madeline Triplett enters the game for TIU. She's going to take the serve here. 20-15 is our score here in this third set. I'll tell you what, TIU just does not give up on anything.
Yeah, good play by Coronado, keeping it alive.
And Farrell's going to get the point for the Red Hawks. You could just tell as Farrell was getting in position to spike that ball over the net, you could just see the look in her eyes like, I'm getting this point.
We can't see the Red Hawks side of things very well from up here, but you can still see it.
Strezzo checks in for Deja Palat. Turner to serve. A lot of play at the net here. And Coronado in front of a diving Roberts. Tell you what, Coronado's really came on here in this third set.
Yep.
Wonder if this is, sorry to cut you off there. Sorry, but I wonder if that's something that Coach Luke Ward wanted to see here. Switch something up. Because we've said Coronado's name a lot more than Torres's in this third set.
Correct. Yeah, she's not giving up on whenever there's a rough dig and the ball goes a little bit out of play. She's not giving up. She's the one hustling after it. She's also the one scoring for her team as well.
And Hawkins' kill is going to be on the line and a point for the Trojans. 22-16. TIU with the lead. And that serve's going to go out of play.
Good judgment there. Good realization that you're pretty far backed up there on the line, knowing that, hey, if I let this go, it should be over, right?
Yeah.
The very few times that I've played volleyball, I've done that same thing where it's like, it should be out, right? No, I'm staring at it, it's bouncing, not even on the line, wide open in play. Oh, man.
Emma Roberts back in, takes that serve. And Torres going to get that point. 23-17 is our score here in this third set. Jalen Freeman to serve. Oh, they overturned it. That's a point for the Red Hawks. All right.
I'm waiting to see.
Because there was a lot of communication there on the floor.
I'm waiting to see like a signal because they indicated towards the Red Hawks, but I didn't see a signal.
I'm wondering. No, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be wrong.
We probably wouldn't be talking very much.
I'm just going to enjoy the point and move on.
Wow. Beautiful set there.
And Red Hawks keep that ball alive as Grog gets it over. And there's Hawkins. Keeps it in play, and now it's 23-18. TIU 2 points away from taking the game. Jalen Freeman to serve. Ross sets it up. Estrezzo's return. Going to be played, and that's going to go into the net by Mauersberger. I'll tell you what, TIU is giving the Red Hawks every opportunity to keep this set competitive and alive.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Hawks have to cash in right now if they want to win this set and continue on the game.
Absolutely.
As Mottman to serve in the last game, when Mottman served in two different sets, the Red Hawks went on like 2 6 or 7 point straight swings. As Mauersberger punches that one over, the Red Hawks are going to keep it alive. And Torres is blocked to the net by Markusik, and she keeps it in play. Point for the Red Hawks.
A solo block from Mary Markusik there, the only one to come in contact with the block and just straight down. Straight back down on Trinity's side of things. What a play there by Markusik.
That's a big play. As Mottman's serve is a good one. But Torres is going to go up, punches it over the net. There's Mottman setting up for Emma Roberts. Gra goes up for it. Triplet. And that's going to go out of play. Point for the Red Hawks. And a timeout on the floor called by Coach Ward. Adam, before we go to break, what's this momentum swing mean here for the Red Hawks?
That you can't count them out. It's the third set and you've won 2, and it's a 2-point game. You've got 2 points to wrap up the set, but that does not mean the Red Hawks are out of this. They can have this momentum in the 4th set as well, and maybe take this to 5 sets. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll have to find out. We'll find out with you. You're listening to the Red Hawk Sports Network. We'll be right back.
I heard you say Trinity. There's no L in her last name. No. Oh. Mary's last name is Yeah. Whatever.
We are back here on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Things are getting exciting here in this third set. 23-21, TIU has the lead, but they have the lead in the game, 2-0. Mottman continues serve. Good play there by Strezzo to keep that alive. Grog goes up for it, and that's going to fall. A point for the Red Hawks. TIU continued to play that ball, though, in hopes that the refs didn't see it hit the ground. But it did, and the Red Hawks are 1 point away from tying this up. In this set, Mottman continues serve. Mauersberger punches it over, and that's going to fall. But the set's not over yet. TIU still has to get 1 more point.
The set there from Muramoto to Mauersberger was fantastic. Right in her wheelhouse. Right in her wheelhouse as she was able to get that over with the tip.
Scripshock checks back in along with Decker. Scripshock to take the serve. And Erminger calls a timeout here. That's a good timeout. I like that.
That is a good timeout. I like that too. Because it shows that he's confident that this is not the end of the game either.
Right.
You know, yeah, we might be under a little bit of pressure, but he has hope. He's showing that he has hope and he's not giving up on his team. I like that timeout a lot.
All right, so while these teams prepare for the last push here in this third set, what adjustments are you making if you're TIU's coach right now, Adam?
Just focusing on the fundamentals. You know, as my dad always said as I was growing up, you're focusing on all the fancy stuff and you're forgetting the fundamentals. Keeping a firm grip on the fundamentals should be any team's focus as it comes down to crunch time, because those are the easiest to take for granted. So that's what I would be capitalizing on if I was the coach of Trinity International right now.
I agree. What about Coach Erminger? If you're Coach Erminger, what are you talking to the girls about right now?
Basically what I said just now, like, I'm not giving up on you guys. They're 1 point away from winning, but I'm not giving up. They might have 1 point to score, but we've got potentially 4 or more.
Right.
You know, that doesn't mean that, you know, they have an advantage, we should just give up. I'm not giving up on you. That would be the first thing that I say.
Man, you're getting me fired up.
I am a coach for 8th grade travel basketball, so that might be wearing off.
So here we go. TIU 1 point away from victory as Scripshock to serve. Roberts digs it out. Mottman sets it up. Mark Husic is going to be returned there by Freeman. And Torres's kill is going to go off of one of the Red Hawks at the net. Couldn't tell who it was. But that is going to get TIU to the magic number 25 in this set, which means that TIU has swept the Red Hawks tonight 3-0. Adam, final thoughts?
I really enjoyed that third set because I believe the first 2 sets were 25-16 and 25-18. Does that sound right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So, like, those are, you know, a little bit of a stretch whenever it comes to Trinity International having the more momentum. But this one, Red Hawks put up a fight, and I was happy to see the energy from these ladies as, you know, the game could potentially be winding down, but they had the fight in them to put up a good, you know, a bargain. They made Trinity worried a little bit, and I was happy to see that. Yeah, definitely some bulletin board material for the Red Hawks, but there's also a lot they have to clean up. Their communication has to get better. And that's a big one for me right now, because you got to have communication on the floor in any sport, not just volleyball, in any sport. Sure. And I'm sure that's something that they would capitalize on from even the youngest ages. You know, if you're lady friend is in front of you, let them know you're behind them. Just communicate. If you're a teammate, I should have said. But,
right.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the communication as is important in any sport, and I would assume especially in volleyball, because you only know where the ball's at. You maybe have a teammate in your line of sight on your peripheral vision, but you don't have any idea where your other four teammates are. Just the communication is crucial.
You're totally right there. So now TIU improves to 4-2 on the season and 3-0 in conference. The Redhawks fall to 1-2 on the year, 1-2 in conference. So Adam, it's been a blast tonight calling this game with you. Wish it could have resulted in a Redhawk victory. For our crew tonight, David Bork, my partner in crime tonight, Adam Maurer. I'm Steve Schmidt signing off. We'll see you all next time here on the Redhawk Sports Network.